Dear students, let's see what surface chemistry is. It is simply that branch of chemistry which deals with the study of surface phenomena. So what are these surface phenomena? These are those phenomena which occur at surface, or we also call it as interface. So what is an interface or what is a surface? Any boundary which separates two bulk phases, that's your surface. The boundary which separates the two bulk phases. Bulk phases, just like we are having solid and the gaseous phase. Just we are having the liquid and the gas. Similarly solid and the liquid. But remember that the two gases, there is no boundary between the two gases. There is no interface between the gases. Why it is so? Because the gases undergo complete diffusion. The molecules of the gas, they completely intermix with each other, they combine with each other, there remains no boundary. They undergo complete miscibility, we can say. Now let's see these surface phenomena when they happen. In order to have a surface phenomena, the surface of the metal or any solid, it should be ultra clean. How we can make a surface ultra clean in order to observe the surface phenomena? We can do this by connecting a vacuum pump in which the order of pressure should be 10 raised power minus 8 to 10 raised power minus 9 Pascal. When we reduce pressure in this range, we will get ultra clean surface of any metal. So then we can easily observe that surface phenomena like the adsorption will take place there. So the various surface phenomena which we observe, they include adsorption, corrosion of metals, as we have already discussed it. Similarly, electrode processes, we have already studied it in the electrochemistry unit. Similarly, crystallization, it's also a surface phenomena. Similarly, heterogeneous catalysis, etc. Now let's take the first topic, that is the adsorption. Adsorption is a surface phenomena. And what is it? It is simply whenever we have a solid surface, the various molecular species of gas or liquid, they get attracted and retained on the surface of the solid, and hence concentration of these molecular species, gases or liquids, it is more on the surface as compared to the bulk. This is the adsorption. So we can say it is the accumulation of molecular species, gases or liquids on the surface of solid than in the bulk. Now we have to understand here the two terms, that is the adsorbent and the adsorbate. Adsorbent is that substance on which adsorption takes place. So just we are having here the example, silica gel is your adsorbent on which the water vapors get absorbed. So the substance, so the molecular species, just here the water vapors, they are known as adsorbate. So adsorbate is the substance which undergoes adsorption, which gets accumulated at the surface of the adsorbent, that's your adsorbate. And the substance on which adsorption takes place, that's called the adsorbent. So just you have to see the difference between the adsorption and the absorption. You have also here a piece of anhydrous calcium chloride. When it is put in water, you will observe that the water vapors or the water molecules, they will get thoroughly distributed in the bulk of the anhydrous calcium chloride. It is not the adsorption, it is the absorption. So the water molecules, they get here absorbed, not adsorbed. So we have here got these two terms, that is what is adsorbent and what is the adsorbate. You can easily observe adsorption. See, if you have a vessel which contains few gases like carbon monoxide, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and now you are putting small amount of powdered charcoal in it, you'll observe that the pressure after adding this small amount of powdered charcoal, it will get reduced. It will be lesser than the earlier pressure when there was no powdered charcoal in it. So why it happens? Why it is so? It is because when we add this small amount of powdered charcoal, it acts as adsorbent. It will absorb the various gases which were present in the vessel. Similarly, you can also observe adsorption whenever we have, let's take a colored dye solution. Let's have eosin dye solution which is red in color, and if you will put animal charcoal in it and after stirring, you will observe that the filtrate will be colorless. Why it is so? Because animal charcoal has absorbed the red dye particles of eosin. Similarly, air becomes dry in presence of silica gel, because silica gel acts as a best or good adsorbent. It absorbs the water vapor molecules. Similarly, whenever we have an aqueous solution of raw sugar, which is usually brownish in color, it becomes colorless when animal charcoal is added in it and it is stirred. So these are the best experiments or the examples with the help of which you can observe adsorption easily in your day-to-day life. Now let's explain the difference between the adsorption and absorption. So adsorption is a surface phenomena because it only occurs at the surface. Here the species of the molecule, they get attracted and retained on the surface of a solid. Just if you have a piece of chalk and you will put in a solution of ink, then you will observe that the molecules of the ink or the dye particles, they will be only absorbed on the surface. If you will break the piece of chalk, you will find that there will be no colored material particles inside the chalk. So it is an adsorption. But absorption is a bulk phenomena, because here the molecules of the species, they get distributed thoroughly into the body of the other substance. Just if we are having a piece of cloth, you will put it in water, you will see that water molecules get absorbed. They get uniformly distributed throughout the cloth. Similarly, adsorption, in case of adsorption, concentration on the surface is different than in the bulk, but in case of absorption, concentration is same throughout. Another difference you can remember, that is adsorption is in the beginning rapid, then rate decreases until equilibrium is reached. But in case of absorption, it always occurs at a uniform rate. So hope, dear students, that you have understood the difference between the adsorption and the absorption